Welcome back, adventurers. We have a new tsar. Tsar Ívar of all the Rus has ascended the throne. It's been a tragic couple of years. First, his grandfather died early in 999, and then his father, Stanislav, died almost 2 years later. He didn't get to rule very long. So, what is the fate of Ívar? Ívar the Bleeder. He has a health problem. But he is diligent, so he is trying to do his best with the circumstances that he finds himself in. So upon ascending the throne, he also decided it was time for some changes. He divorced his old wife and married this new one, which has a higher learning stat. So we can work together on developing our realm more. And of course, he also got himself some concubines, as is expected of a high-ranking ruler. So that is the situation we find ourselves in at the end of the year 1000 AD, according to those Westerners, because it is not the counting that we use in the realm of all the Rus, but it is what it is. So we have high hopes for this couple. Ívar is the Tsar, and there is another thing that we got. We managed to bribe someone to come to our court, and he was then willing to convert. Radomir here. Radomir Domagojevich has a claim on the Duchy of Croatia. Right, it isn't a kingdom title. There is nobody with the kingdom title. It hasn't been established yet. So that is what we will go with. And maybe this way we can nibble bit by bit things off from the Byzantine Empire. We also have this county here. That is the only county still standing in the middle of our lands. Well, there is that up in the north, but alright. But this is like an eyesore. So we shall fix that first, and then we'll go south. So let's start with declaring war and seize the chiefdom of Stesica, however we pronounce that. And then we will raise our armies somewhere around here. Let's move the rally point. We don't want to cross the river. Here is good. Berestia, yeah. We shall raise just the men-at-arms. That will be enough. And I think we shall lead this ourselves. Can't we do that ourselves? My brother, what is 20? Yeah, I guess our commander score isn't that good. 16, yeah. Okay. Yes, 11 from our martial skill plus 5 from leading our own soldiers. Yeah, no, that's fine. Then maybe our master of the horse should lead that. Well, they're not really raiding, right? That's fine. Go get them. And we have factions created against us, of course. We are new rulers, so that is very common. But there are also those who come to show us their loyalty, like Grand Prince Karpa of Gualadat. Show him in. And he takes the knee. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Grand Prince Karpa, who is soon announced and ushered before me. He kneels in deference as attendants bring forth his gifts of coin and precious objects. The oath is taken and scribes record his pledge to serve the Tsardom of the Rus at last. I bid him arise, confirming my satisfaction and Karpa's rights to the lands he rules in my stead. Thank you for your gifts. And the battle is over already. We captured someone. Do they want to buy him back? Yes, they do. Okay. There is a hybrid of Welsh Anglo-Saxon culture. Interesting. And we have... war declared on us. Ah, yes, of course. Of course. We start a war and what do we get? A Norman army invasion. Northmen. Okay, do we want this guy? He has claims, but that's Sweden basically. We're not really interested in that. Okay, let's siege this done and then we'll go up north. It's crazy. There they are. The northern men is a horde of disjointed pirates, landless freemen, desperate lesser children, and other assorted miscreants have joined Ilsa in her proposed assault against my holdings. Although the size of the force is formidable, as well as her size, they lack discipline or loyalty, with each scrounged mercenary focused exclusively on what they can get out of the war first and foremost. Unlike a conventional foe, it might be possible to simply deal directly with the invaders, but we never do. We do not strike bargains with invaders. We'll banish them, as we've always done. Ooh, Rurikid and I are attending a fantastic dance this evening. Rurikid is my ward. There are many prominent guests and great food available for eating during conversation or when you are tired from dancing. A part of my duty as guardian is watching Rurikid to make sure she is acting in accordance to etiquette, but as I'm watching her, she is standing starstruck, her eyes fixed on another guest across the room. It seems certain that Rurikid is going to ask for a dance. Let the young couple dance the night away. Why not? Sure. And my royal architect vacated his position because he drank himself to death. Really now? Why would you do that? Was life so hard with your new wife? My court grandeur level decreased to level 6. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, it's really expensive to keep it up, so whatever. My council is still good, but I have no royal architect, and I have an excellent one in my steward, Count Lev. And there are other excellent ones as well. Your Asko Sigson of Moldavia, probably is only 43 years old, unlike the others there. Yeah, let's take him. Alright, Zemigalians under siege. Okay, they're in Lithuania or Letland, around there. And we caught the enemy banner. The Battle of Stezja ended in an astounding victory. I eagerly listened to the messenger as he reads the report from my commander, Jarl Viheslav, and then turned to the soldiers before me. My lord, we cornered the remaining enemies as they made a valiant stand. They gave their lives protecting this banner. It will make a fine addition to my collection. I guess so, yeah. Minty breath. There are those who, after eating, prefer to consume a bit of mint leaves before they clean their teeth in the evening. I have just finished dinner and I am preparing for bed, but still have some time to take a bit of mint first. Where do I stand on this important matter? I like having some mint after meals, it's refreshing. Why the neat teeth cleaning is enough. Bahu bud is a waste of time for the vein, or I prefer using other refreshing herbs actually. Small boost attraction +5. I'll go with this one. Okay, let's siege this down, come on. And there it is. We have won this war. Enforce the demands. And then the county has already... No? Oh, it's still in his hands because he's Old Slovianskran. And you won't convert just like that, right? No. Okay. Right. Then we need to go here where the Northmen are attacking. Ah, that's how you want to do it. Then maybe go here. Yeah, and we'll raise some of our levies as well. But let's wait until my other troops are there. There they are, okay. We want, yeah, the local army here. Alright. Then all of you should go down here and pay them a visit. Greetings, my liege. I've been hosting your Chancellor King Artio for several weeks. He has helped me truly see the splendor of the realm under your rule. I'm nothing less than honored to serve as your vassal, King Kulin of Bulgaria. King Kulin now likes me, although, yeah, he has some critique. My son, I have a new son. Let's go. Ruslan. Okay. Ruslan, be strong. Genius, comely. And just like that. It's a good one. And we have another son. Mikikor. Let's see. Vilja. Mstislav, yes. That's more like... And he is hunchbacked, so he should not inherit. Yeah. They are moving, but where is the battle gonna be? It's gonna be here. Yeah, okay. We have a big battle. And... obviously, we are slaughtering the Northmen. To the impotent Tsar Ívar, I have studied the Norse language for many moons. I personally penned this missive using the Norse script, a letter of friendship from a speaker of Slavonic, Despot Simeon of Serbia. And you're a vassal in the Byzantine Empire. You're studying Norse because you think that we might come around and subjugate you. His vain attempt at gaining glory is laughable. Great. This one is over as well. Alright. Very nice. So that is the end of that Northman invasion. They don't learn, right? They just keep coming. They just keep coming. And after a sip of coffee, let's see what is up next. We have some prisoners, probably. Your old Slovian's gone. Your husband was killed in battle. Why don't you join us? You have claims from Mazovia. Okay. And who are you? You're some peasant leader, but you are really strong. You're a good soldier. So again, for you, same recipe. And you've been here for a long time and you are crazy. I think you're gonna stay here. And we successfully learned the Czechoslovakian language. I feel accomplished, or perhaps I should send a letter to Svetlana. Svetlana. Ah, she was my grandfather's concubine, apparently. Okay, yeah, let's send her a letter. And maybe we should find her a new spouse as well. Is there someone of our dynasty that is good, relevant? How about some of all skills? And then go for the best. Rurikid. Voislav. He apparently divorced his jester. That's another Ívar. But he's an adulterer, I see. No, that's not such a good idea, then. This is a religious man, and he's chaste. But he's also callous. Anyway, we were going for a... I can do that here, right? Dynasty, Rurikid, there we go. Then we only have 28 characters. That's so much easier. Demit, Danielson, Rurikid. And then there is Prince Lev. Yeah. I guess he is good. There you go. Witchcraft? We don't like witchcraft. Develop the capital. Embellish the city. I think we should also host a feast, right? Embellish the city. Will that give us stress? We can also embellish another city, right? Like Homeguard. Or Chaslav. Maybe we should do that. Market Square. That gives us extra development growth, fortifications, or arts to court. Market Square, let's do that. Okay. So we now speak Norse and Czechoslovakian. We probably should find another person to learn another language with. Right. How about my son? Is he learning any languages? He is. And Premislava, she decided to go for learning. That's great. Yes, okay. So what else do we have? This is Czechoslovakian. Bulgarian. Right, that's Slavonic. Kinkulin. Let's do that. And I will do the same. I will learn the same language as my daughter. And I a good dad. Practice on each other. Develop capital. Yeah. And we have another son. Lago. Okay. Yeah. Vsevolod. Okay. So now I have, this is my heir Lev, but he is also a bleeder. And we have Stislav, who is hunchbacked. That's no good. And Ruslan, he is promising. Yeah, I think we will go for him depending on what traits he gets. And then Cephalot is also a good option, but not Stislav with the hunchback. And Bleeder. Okay. Shall we hold a feast first? Lavish feast. Let's do it. Only loses 24 stress. The guests are gathered in the great hall, lords and ladies from the near and far reaches of the realm. The mood is bright and spirits are high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. As plate after plate of food is brought into the great hall, an unmistakable smell reaches me, and I smile. That my friendly vassal Count Orvedin is sensitive to lemon is something I sadly forgot to tell the cook. I bid you all welcome, and I pray you will find the food to your liking, especially you, Orvedin. Enjoy. Why are we rivals? No, we're not rivals. And I'm not, like, that kind of person. His face as I save him from the food is definitely to my liking. We gain a weak cook. That is more a diplomatic play. Well, it's more like intrigue play. Anyway, a favor. That's good. Disaster strikes. My lord, the wine. We cracked open the next barrel. It has gone bad. It has all gone bad. The feast is still raging, but without drink, the mood is sure to dwindle at the cruel place. The wine merchant should still be in town. That's an expensive feast. Dergun has come of age. Yeah. Not quite that good of a boy, are you? And my son learned the Czechoslovakian language already. Okay. As my guests depart, with the entire contents of my vast pantry in their bellies, I am proud to say that the feast was a success. I have my wife Ívar to thank for much of its success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as she sees the last few guests off. Until next time. Okay, wait a moment here. You are gonna learn yet another language. You seem to be good at this. Bulgarian, Slavonic as well, yes. It's a family thing. Okay, we said we have a claimant, right? We have a Radomir for the county of Croatia down here. So we can expand until the Adriatic coast. That is interesting, I think. So let's do that. This is the current ruler of the duchy, Dux Borush. And we shall declare war. What, of course, that's war against Vasilev Strifon. Oh, that's another thing. We have a new emperor, Vasilev Tonomeon, but he moved his capital from Constantinople to Veria. Somebody else inherited Constantinople. That's really curious. Oh, now we have holy wars available to us. Holy war for kingdom, but my level of devotion is less than paragon of virtue. Okay, but we're almost there. So after this one, we could go for a kingdom war. Like for Bavaria, or all of Croatia. Serbia is just a few bits and pieces. Yeah. Interesting. And that is Zaporizhia. Basically the Crim. Yeah. Oh. Well, in that case, I'm gonna wait until I can do the whole kingdom of Croatia. I think. That makes more sense. Epirus? Epirus is just down there, isn't it? We don't need Epirus. Right. It's Greek, not Slavonic. So, in that case, maybe we don't go to war until we have that level of virtue. And we can get there by going on pilgrimage, probably. Go on a pilgrimage. How about that? Huh? Why are you closing that window that I need? There are too many options here. Here it is. So don't close this, because it will close this window as well. The holy sites are places in our world that are closest to the gods. To see them for myself is to prove my dedication as a Slovianska. I can choose a destination among our faith's holy sites. The further I travel, the more piety I will gain. Okay. There's Kunigard, which is where I live. There's Holmgard, which is where our dynasty's founder started. There is Barlad, and perhaps somewhere else. Yes, I want to go to Rügen. This is a long pilgrimage. Yeah, so Rügen is probably the farthest. It's over here. Although Barlad is... and now I can't move anything. Was stuck. Barlad is somewhere here, right? Anyway, we're going to Rügen. Departure. As I prepare for my journey, I know that I will travel safely under the protection of the gods. While I go with Belobog, my realm must wait, however long I may be gone. It is time to depart. A rude story. Passing by the campfire, one of my fellow travelers is telling a story he once heard about some tsar to rogue his laughter. They all fall silent when I approach, except for the storyteller. Ah, don't worry, my lord. You're nothing like the children in this story. It's about the tsar of these lands. Really now, tell me more of this tsar. And we have some guardians we can assign, so let's do that after a sip of coffee. Vasyuk, my cousin. Intrigue. Alright. Can we have you study language? Yes. You need to study Slovian. That's where we go for first. And then we should find you an educator. I won't do it myself. I'm busy. And we have people who are better at this stuff. Yeah. So it's either someone who is a genius but only has 2 stars, or someone who has 3 stars but is not a genius. Okay, whatever. And Ingfried. These people never learn it. Let's make it Ingfrida. A marshal, I don't think that's such a good idea. Stewardship. You're better at stewardship anyway. Let's do that. And then let's have you study Czech Slovian language. No, can't we do that? You already know that? Why isn't there... Here, Slovian. Yeah. Great. And Charles has grown up. Dobrynia hasn't been promised to anyone yet, but you're nothing special. Alright. Kulik of Bulgaria is under attack. Oh, from Grand Prince Zemund. But I'm on a pilgrimage. Sacred groves. At last, I have finally arrived in Rügen. While some worship in churches or mosques, I know the most sacred places are in the open forest, where bare feet are caressed by the soft, nourishing earth. The old groves here are especially venerable, and I find myself wondering about my place in the natural world. As I stand amongst the great trees, I have walked the holy path. I gained a trade pilgrim. Nice. And we are very close. The return. My journey has been a long one, but I have finally come home again. While much remains the same, and I also gained a trade wise man. That's good. Something has changed in how the Tsar folk treat me. I have undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist it has changed something about me, whether I can see it myself or not. It is good to be home. And these people can marry my cousin and the son of somebody else. Okay. Develop capital, yeah, but that is gonna cost us critical amounts of stress. So let's wait with that. Let's wait with that. We could divine the stars and get a cosmic insight. Let's do that. I have spent many nights looking up at the night sky, tracking the movements of the celestial bodies. Over time I noticed a pattern, and after days of analysis I am now confident in my prediction. The signs are clear. It is a time for new beginnings and open minds. I wonder what else the future holds in store. And open-minded gives us -2 stewardship but +2 learning. Okay. Khan Teto's friendship. While his numerous attempts to curry my favor have not gone unnoticed, I cannot feel but irritated by Khan Teto's sudden interest in me. He was also interested in our grandfather, wasn't he? Yeah, he's a neighboring ruler. Oh, his realm has been chopped up in pieces, and he just has one county left? One county. I can see that here too. So yeah, he's a bit in a dire position. And the Pecheneck have moved out here. Interesting. But we don't really care as long as they leave our borders relatively peaceful. If anything, his obsessive desire to impress me and his blundering displays of fabricated affection have only made me dislike him more. Why can he not leave me in peace, or I never want to see his face again? Well, if you like us so much, why don't you become a vassal? But no, you won't, so leave me in peace. Yeah, Queen Azravai is doing all kinds of weird stuff, right? Lev has been studying the records of long-past kings of the local region, and he was intrigued by one in particular. Very little was recorded of the king in question, just the name and the statement that he was so wise he managed to rule for 100 years. Quite an achievement. Lev has a personal theory that he managed to live so long only because the king was such a hard worker that the kingdom was ushered into a golden age, propping the king up for a long life surrounded by happy courtiers and plenty of riches. Get through the book by the end of the day and you might be like him yet. And he becomes diligent. Very good. Are we there yet? We're very close. Okay. What else can we do to gain some piety? Brothers under attack. Yeah, holy war or something, but we only really want to fight Byzantines. So we want to make one big war. My son Feodor. Feodor. It's from the Greek, gift of God. Yeah, okay. And we have another diplomacy perk. We already have patriarch. No, we can get that trait patriarch, which gives us fertility. Well, we are not lacking in that department. Stress loss, which is very good. Close family opinion and house opinion. Those are all good things. Now, shall we stick with this or shall we switch? I think actually it's even too early to switch. Yeah. It's too early to switch. So we shall stick with this a bit longer. Go for Well, it depends how much longer. We could go for true ruler. But that will take us more than just a few years. Or we can go for the diplomat tree. Like ducal conquest, that's nice. Forced vassalage. Forced vassalization, casus belli. That's not bad either. Yeah, so maybe the diplomat one. Alright. Piety. The problem is we still don't have battlements. What was it that we needed? Memorialism? No, we can. I think we can build. Like, do we have an empty? No, we don't have an empty one here. These are all, see, built full. I was thinking of, yeah, building a temple. But we can't because we don't have the money. But we do have city planning. Alright. That's what I was thinking of, but it's the money that's the problem. And how about here? We can't because the Polabian culture does not have this innovation. And in the Chaslav, they are Czech culture. 1235, yeah, we're working on that. And here we would want a temple. But, yeah, we need the money. Okay. We need a guardian for my half-sister. Half-sister, you want to study stewardship. That sounds fine. Why don't you learn Slovene? And we have a good steward here, Count Lev. Princess Yevdokia. How about we do this by age? And go for age 6. There she is. Great, that's that. Quite satisfied. Shonjava has been asking me for a spinning top for a long time, and I told her I would get one for her in 3 months if she displayed more focus in her studies. She responded she was fine with her current dedication to her studies, reward or no reward. Well, we should give her a reward for that alone. We all learn to live with our lot in life. But she is going for intrigue. I should teach her a more flexible way, or she must be taught to take me at my word. No. Yeah, maybe with this you should go for diplomacy, my dear. That or learning. Excellent. She's now studying diplomacy. That is great. The Rurikid dynasty is known far and wide. Nice. And we are now a paragon of virtue. Did I miss a notification for that, or you just don't get that? I probably missed something. Edla has decided that her time in Königard has come to an end. My courtier Edla. She is the mother of my wife. She's my mother-in-law, and you don't want to stay here. She has a claim on the chiefdom of Åland. I'm busy with other things, so yeah, no, you can see if you can find someone else that wants to press that claim. I'm fine with somebody else doing that. Åland is here, right, in between Finland and Sweden. I mean, it wouldn't be amiss to have that included, but it's such a small piece of land, and it doesn't really fit with our plans for uniting the Slavs. Success. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the Slavonic language. Endless hours of practicing accentuation, sleepless nights mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate King Kulin's accent. I'm sure that he would be impressed with my results. Would he though? Does he like me? He does like me. More than before. Well, maybe I shall send him a letter in Slavonic. And I impress him. He gained opinion of me, and I grow closer to forming a friendship with him. That's great. A secret exposed. My uncle King Vladislav has accused my vassal Grand Prince Zemund of having an extramarital affair with his lover Queen Biljana. How could he defile the sanctity of his marriage? Guards. Yeah, put them in prison. I can no longer learn King Kulin's language because I already learned it. As if that isn't an ongoing thing, or you can ever be perfect at something, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to do another language rant. Greetings, my modest liege. I have arrived in Königsberg to pay homage to you, glorious Tsar, Jarl Sochon of Chernohov. I bring you rich gifts worthy of your majesty. Okay, show him in. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Jarl Sochon, who is soon announced and ushered before me. He kneels in deference as attendants bring forth his gifts of coin and precious objects. The oath is taken. Scribes record his pledges to serve the Tsardom of the Rus. At last I bid the Jarl rise, confirming my satisfaction and Sochon's rights to the lands he rules in my stead. I accept your generous gift, Jarl Sochon. That is great, but that also means we are now Paragon of Virtue. We can now do a holy war for a kingdom title. Right, so let's do it. He moved his capital back to Constantinople. Alright, he hates me, and he has good reason. He has no allies, and we have a significantly bigger army. He only has 300 cataphracts. That's his strongest man-at-arms type of unit. 800 pikemen, 900 bowmen. Okay. 12 eterie. 12 knights. I have more, right? I think, only 14 though. But I have holy orders as well. So that is good. Alright. I think my army is ready. Yeah. Do you have an heir in case you get killed on the battlefield? Yeah, your heir is of age. Betrothed to somebody of my dynasty. My niece Ganya. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So, Numidale. Holy War for the Kingdom of Croatia. That, because we only need parts of Bavaria. So I don't want to use the one chance I have for a kingdom title in a lifetime to waste that on Bavaria when we need a lot more of Croatia. Orthodox rulers may join the war. Are there any Orthodox rulers? Maybe they had Alodia before, right? It doesn't appear to exist anymore. Nubia. Nubia is Coptic. I don't think they have any other Orthodox. Crete, maybe. Yeah. But Crete's very small. How has that not been absorbed into the Byzantine Empire? I don't know. But, here we go. Holy War for Croatia. And they're already there. Yeah, I'm just gonna move this rally point here. and see what happens. We don't have a lot of money. That's a bit of a downside, because once we start waging war, we're gonna lose money fast if we raise everybody. So let's not raise everybody. Yeah, raise local army. There we go. And we have Tatiana the Bold. We have Yaropluk, my marshal. And we have Marek. Looks fierce. Okay, he only has one champion there. They have 7 and they have 6. Can you send some... This is nonsense, right? But yeah, the supply limit here is can be extremely low. Okay, so we need to be careful with that. You need to split off some of your knights. Come on. Let's do one more. Okay, select them. Let them go here. And you have... Wow. Yeah. They have all the men-at-arms. Can I split off 700 of those veterans? I can. Okay, great. Select them. Let them go over here. Okay, so these two should merge. But now they have a lot more levies. These should also merge. Yeah. Alright. We want the kingdom. So all around and a bit further south. And who is here? Some local army. You have siege weapons. Why don't you go to Zagreb? And you have siege weapons. Go here. You don't have siege weapons, so maybe you stand by in case somebody approaches. My daughter learned the Slavonic language. So you speak Norse and Slavonic. Do we have anyone to teach you Czech? There you go. The lure of language. Again, a Polabian. Okay, time to hit the books. Actually, I'm gonna send these guys to meet them there. And they decided not to come. Mark of distinction. As the renown of my dynasty grows, familiarity with the glorious Rurikid sigil spreads too. My family's emblem is now common knowledge, listed among the great royal families of the region and the highest nobility of the Khazar Rus. Okay, as it should be, yes. It became famed, that's good, because 1,000 years from now, it will still be famed. Okay, you guys, this, no. No. Split off. Yeah, those levies. And maybe even those. 1,600? That's possible. That will be hatched. And I have another son, Mstislav. Okay. And we learned Polabian, at least the basics of it. Great, we won this battle, that's a start. But those were not the enemy, actually. Not like the real enemy. I don't know what they are doing here. Probably some local thing. Can we go here? We would lose 100 men. Why don't you go here instead then? There are factions against us, but nothing dangerous. We lost some men, but they lost a lot more. Okay, we now control Zagreb. That is as it should be. Go take Zagorje. Okay. The Pole is under siege. Where is that? Oh, there. Okay, they came out in full force. 14,000. But that's a lot of levies, right? Okay. But, yeah, the supply limit won't sustain that big an army, so we'll see how they suffer. I seized the Warn language manual. Learn language scheme power +4. Wow. And I'm holding it. Okay. And I now control Modrus. Wait a moment. I want that. And I don't want it to go this one. I need to fix it first. And then instead of this, maybe prestige. And we're doing diplomacy, right? Yeah. That one. There you go. Okay. No ransom. These people are harsh. Yeah, they keep moving and then sieging and they're moving and they don't know what they want. Okay, we got this. Can go here. But at some point we need to fight the Byzantines, right? And another extramarital affair. Go to prison. Yeah, okay, well, that's how it happens. Yeah, maybe we need to get a bit more levies there for 15,000 troops. Where is this one? Piltene, that's in the north, right? Yeah, if we move this one, like up there, then we should be able, for this one, to get more. Yeah. Okay. You can do it. I had an interesting dream last night where I was conversing with someone. A great amount of light emanated from them. Must have been my grandfather. So I couldn't see their face exactly. Nonetheless, this person, whoever they were, told me that as long as I followed a moral path, things would go well for me. Well, maybe not my grandfather then. The path to being a good person is something anyone can achieve with the right attitude and righteous actions. You have what it takes. When I woke up, I felt strangely at peace. What was that dream all about? Positive, inspiring dream. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So they're coming. Yeah. How much longer for this one? 32 days. Might just be enough. Or it might not be. Okay, I need to get... Okay, great. It is enough. I'm gonna get all my troops here. Even them. I could station besiegers. Right? And they already see They must have spies to know that we are gathering. Okay, my ward Thurid has come of age and it's time she left my care. Ah, wow. Not all that good, eh? Now they just decide to siege this. Okay, you guys... No, they're still going here. Oh, now they're spread out. They smartened up. Okay, big battle of Maglaj. And we won. Stjaka. Okay. And they're coming for another ass kicking. Yeah, if you only send you half your army the first time, you have to do it twice, and you will lose both times. We took Vasilev Trifons Vasildux Hypatios hostage. Hypatios of Chaldea. Okay. He's not very good. Can we ransom him and get some money out of this? 150, yeah. Okay. Yes. Finally. Okay. Now I can see this button. The battle is over. Yes, Vasilev Trifon. It is over. Okay. We have a big army. We'll have to split it up. And then this should split again. Right? And then this should also split again. And then send each one somewhere else. Okay, they're doing fine. They're on the retreat. I can assign a guardian. Okay. This one has siege weapons. So here, or they're over the limit for that place. They're over the limit for that place too. Goodness. Split off some of your levies. And these people should go back here. And then the smaller army go take Banja Luka. You have no siege weapons. Let's assign a guardian for this person. Learning, really? I think diplomacy would be better for you. Language. No, you're not my child. Okay. We have other people who can teach diplomacy too, right? Is this part of the war goal? Yes. They all have 3 knights. Okay. I want you to go here. And this one go here. Because I saw some movement down here. There they are. Okay. That's not too bad, actually. Champions of Majesty. I stand above my subjects as a sovereign ruler, unequaled in the realm. What do you mean unequaled in the world? Dressing the part with resplendent garments and jewelry would serve as a subtle reminder to everyone that I am in charge. But I'm content, so local fashions have symbolic meaning. That is quite nice, right? I do not need things to legitimize my... Actually, this army, if you could come back. What do we have here? Another perk. Yeah, we said we would do this one. And my daughter, Premislava, food is always a joy, or impatient or shy. Well, impatient is slightly better then, I think. Yeah, they're already getting nervous, so... Now I want you both to go chase the Byzantine army. I'll control Theodora, that is great. That means you can go here, or where is the... Yeah, that is the one of this county, okay. They're boating out of here. Wow. Okay. That's how you want to play it. Then we are going to Ragusa. Why is there no commander here? And you probably here. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. We're gonna try and go from the back. Yeah. Let's see. Or maybe siege something back. Get them some low-level commander. Yeah, they're trying to siege that back. Okay. And my daughter learned Czech Sloven language. So, North Slavonic, Czech Sloven. What else can we teach you that is relevant? Pomeranian, maybe. Wow. Could be useful, I guess. We have a lot of speakers in our realm. Guardian can be assigned. You want to do martial? Maybe you want to do stewardship? How about that? Learn language? Slavonic? Okay, we can start with that. And then educate, stewardship. Count Lev. I think we're good here. Yeah, they have 7 knights. We have 3 knights. So maybe that might not be so good. Anyway, we'll see. It's still green for now. The last day, my martial Yaropluk hands me my favorite dagger. It is sharpened and polished, so I see a fraction of my own visage within it. You should carry this for your own sake. Descendants scurry through your court like diseased rats. And each time we attend a public function, I wonder if it is our last. He stares out the window. Perhaps we ought to increase the guard patrols. There is a sickly taste to this morning's errand, I am afraid. I'd a few more patrols in for luck, or do you know something? Do you know something? And I have a daughter. Olena, okay. Lev seems to have enjoyed the latest feast immensely. Of all the things, he could not stop talking about the rich clothes and glittering gold he saw there. The trappings of power, greedy. I will show him how to make friends. Or I saw how you looked at that servant, Lev. Okay, go for greedy then. You are in immediate peril, my lord. I feel nothing but shame as I scribe these words. Jarl Huld has spent months bribing your guards. Huld? Of Edison? Really? I doubt that. I doubt that. She plans to stage an attack on your life in front of the court. I wish for your life to be spared, but try as I may, I cannot stop my heart from bleeding for the cause of the faction to install King Sturla of Bjarmeland on the Rus throne. They only have 9% power. They will never get that. Independence, who? Bulgaria, 24%, yeah. If all these people would band together, they could achieve something, but no, they're divided, so no problem. I have dashed into exile. We shall not meet again. Yarapluk. Yarapluk, I hired you specifically to be my marshal. Why are you abandoning your post? You... I can defend myself. But that means I need a new marshal. I will just put him back there. Or Sviatopelk, why don't you take the reins? Okay, we have a battle here. Wow, it wasn't even difficult. Okay, we have the 700 Varangian veterans. They are really strong. Okay. Yes. Can we get that? Or that is ours. Select this army. Now, take me to a place where we have enough limit. Although we will lose, that's a lot of casualties. That's also a lot of casualties. Just go back and get some supplies. Whatever. Tradition embraced. Hazara Mission Rus culture has embraced the industrious tradition. Oh, that's right. I don't remember putting that in motion, but it's several episodes ago. We don't need the Czech culture for getting industrious. Nice. Alright, spoiled for choice. And another one of my wards is, well, being a teenager. Starstruck with Pimina Karjalainen. Don't know why. But okay. No one thing can hold her attention for long. Just go and dance with that guest already, or don't be so easily pulled in by simple charms. You are going for diplomacy, right? That's what we put you on. Yeah, Fickle is good. I've arrived to pay homage to you. Show him in. Yes, take his... No, I would say take his gifts, but he just has his promises. Okay, that's great. And we now control a Sabalathos. And that means we won the war. Shall we just go and finish this one? The last day. It is almost thrilling, sitting and waiting for the faction to install King Sturla of Bjarmeland on the Rus throne to strike. It is farcical that they think mere assassins could slay me. Jarl Holt approaches my throne. You have no right to language atop that throne. I would rather die than see you make one more false decree from it. Hold, hold, this hold, hold. But you like me. Kinda. Enough, anyway. This makes no sense. Makes no sense, whatever. She pulls out a concealed fine mace and bolts forth. This brash madness is quickly ended as my champion swiftly encircle her. As the guards grasp her, I realize she is furiously trying to push the blade into her own heart rather than be caught. Restrain her, she cannot become a martyr for the dissidents, or let her do it and she dies. You deserve a far worse fate than to die here or exile her. No, let her do it. She needs to go. That's it. And we now control Rama as well. And we got some gold from that. That is nice. We won another war against the East Roman Empire. To the spine... What do you call me spineless for? I just beat you. I just beat you. Yeah. Alright, and with that... he's getting cut to pieces, right? Yeah, there are still some pieces here and there that we will need to take. At least these here. And then some on our western border. And this bit of Italy. We will have to fight Italy as well, I'm afraid. But yeah, this is a major step forward. Which is why this episode is a bit longer, because I wanted to finish this war. Unite the Slavs mean control the region of Slavia. Right, so these bits within the white line is what we need. This bit of Italy as well. Yeah. Alright. But that is for the future. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. See you again next time.